Okay.
Alright, so this is the part where we're actually going to try and get our clients' stories across, so you can actually understand exactly why our clients train with us, because I think that you will be surprised as to the vast array of different reasons why clients train with us. So, Jane, like I was saying before, what inspired you to first start? And we've been training together for what, 3 years now?
I think it might be 4.
For 4 years now?
Yeah, on and off, yeah.
So what would you say inspired you to first start training with Revitalize?
So I had started playing netball with a back to netball group, and I was constantly twinging my knees, my ankles. I had then got a shoulder problem, which is how I met Elliot. And because my netball team, they used you a lot.
Yes.
And so I was coming to you saying, I've got a shoulder problem, I've got a knee problem, I've torn my ankle, and you were brilliant in treating me. And I then got to the stage where actually I realised maybe a year later, slowly, that I needed to just get fit properly and invest in myself. So rather than repairing my body, I was strengthening my body, and also for postural correctness. I think when I first came to see you,
I remember you saying that. One of the first things that you mentioned is how you were holding. I think that's actually one of the first things I noticed, is that as you were getting fitter, you were holding yourself differently. I remember saying you hold yourself like an athlete now.
Yeah. I don't think I do that anymore.
No, you still do. You still retain it.
Yeah, but I mean, working on a laptop all the time, I was slowly getting a hunch back. And so I was I think we did a lot of back strengthening.
Yeah, we did a lot of core-based exercises.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, also, Jane, this is one other thing that a lot of people will be thinking watching this. We do a lot of weight training, right?
Tons.
How's it affected your body? Has it bulked you up to make you look like the Hulk?
Not in the slightest. No. When you first talked about weights, I wasn't scared. I actually quite liked it, because I'd done a little bit years ago when I was at school. And it's almost a challenge, and it's not as heavy cardio. And at the time I was playing lots of netball, so I was getting my cardio that way. But with the weights, there was a challenge, and every week you got a bit stronger, and so you felt a definite impact or a definite reward, because I struggled with that last week, and this week I'm doing it, or now my weight's a bit heavier.
And it's quite a quick reward, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you can see how much your strength can jump each.
Absolutely. And you also notice, or in me, I noticed a definite toning of my arms. Definitely. Arms, shoulders, my neck. There's just the shape of my torso.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And that came, I mean, when it comes to the dietary advice, it was never very strict with you, was it? It was more tapering towards what you like, and then trying to work back from there.
Absolutely.
How did you find that in comparison to, say, I don't know if you've ever followed like a diet before or gone on a strict diet, but how did you find that kind of gentle advice and manipulation of what you're currently doing versus going on a strict diet?
I've never attempted a strict diet, because I just knew that that's not a good thing, not healthy really, because the more you're telling yourself you can't have chocolate, you can't have cheese, you can't have bread, the more that's all your brain thinks about. So instead, when you guys helped me out with a diet which was swap this for this, so the first thing that springs to mind is a recipe for a risotto that you guys gave me. And I'm vegetarian, so you then talked about the recipe was based on nutrition rather than fats and carbs and calories. And the recipe was with quinoa instead of rice, or some rice, but mostly quinoa and mushrooms. And so you then looked at the nutritional breakdown, and it was exactly what you needed. And I found it great, and I still use it, like 4 years on.
Nice.
Yeah, but basically what it's done as well is teach you about nutrition as a whole and caring for your body and balance, and that's really what it is.
Do you feel much different now in comparison to when you first started, before you started training?
Massively, yeah. And I don't train as much. I have to say that I'm self-employed, so I don't train as much as maybe I did 4 years ago, 3 years ago when we started. But yeah, in general, I feel healthier. I know when I'm starting to hit a slump, and I'll come and talk to you about it and go, right, I need to mix it up. And over the years, we've changed it as well. So we'll put a bit of boxing in, or we'll focus on abs, or we'll focus on legs, or strengthening again if I feel my knees are twinging. Yeah, but I think it gives you confidence.
And the other thing is, I want to talk about some of the awesome things that you've done since started training. So you've done Kilimanjaro.
Oh God, yeah.
Which was fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was tough, but also I know my body. I think that's the biggest thing as well. You understand your body. And you know that my knees can't do that part of the challenge, so I need to care for my knees, because I'm starting to understand that when they start to feel like this, I'm going to enter the danger zone. So I'm not going to put my body through that. I
suppose that's a bit of an added benefit of training here, because you're surrounded by people who aren't just in the fitness profession, but also in the health profession.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I'll walk into your clinic for a PT session and I'll say, oh man, my legs are bad this week, can you help me out? And we'll have 10 minutes where you just take a look and
Holistic approach.
yeah, and then we'll train, and then you feel confident and you feel cared for. And the other thing, very importantly for me, is that mentally, it's great that on a Friday morning I come here, I've had a long week, and I think I don't know if I can do this, but you get up and it clears your mind, and so I think it's an outlet for mental health as well, and looking after your brain. Sorry.
If you were to end this talk on one thing, if you were to look at the camera like you were looking at someone who was thinking of coming to us for personal training, but it's kind of like sitting on the fence, what would you say to them?
Jump in, give it a go. You will be surprised at what you can do, what you can achieve, how you feel when you walk out. And if you book a block of 4 sessions, by the end of that month, so set yourself the challenge of what you want to achieve that month, because you will surpass it. Definitely do it. It's changed my entire approach to how I look after myself.
Thanks, Jane. Cheers.
Thank you.